Hey everybody, it's Taylor with That's Cute Drift, and I am responding to Alexis DeBillis and Faye Hadley's February question for hashtag Woman and Machine. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I'm in the daily and trying to get through this before I go back to work, but definitely want to make time for this. And I know Alexis was getting on to me about finding time to answer this, and honestly it's a really difficult question because so many people can answer it in a way that, you know, is their own journey. But for me, it's been a really fun ride, I guess, not so much a struggle. So the question was, what struggles have you encountered as a woman in the automotive industry? And I got into the automotive industry, I guess you could say, through media. I freelance for a women's automotive magazine called Girls in Garages, and I do graphic design and graphic design layout for the magazine, and I write and do photography for them as well. So I've been writing about women across the automotive industry, from drifters to like autocross car enthusiasts. It's been really interesting to see other women's perspective and how they got into cars and how they got ultimately into racing or whatever they're into. So that was kind of the beginning. And so from there, I went to go cover NHRA. I've covered a few Formula Drift events, including Pro-Am, Pro 2, and Pro, in various racetracks around the U.S. And that's kind of how I got into it. And then when I moved to Memphis, I worked for Comp Cams for a while, out of college as a graphic designer. I work with a different company within the automotive industry now, producing catalogs and things like that. So my involvement with the automotive industry kind of continues, and I don't know where it's going to take me next, but it's been a really interesting ride. Like, being involved in Girls in Garages has allowed me to make connections within the SEMA network and SBN, which is the SEMA Businesswomen's network, and make connections through that, and YEN and other organizations within SEMA in the automotive industry. So that has been a really interesting thing for me, to meet other people and network with them, and to understand and hear their struggles, because for me, getting into the automotive world, like, I've never really had anybody tell me that I can't work on cars or that I shouldn't. I've had some looks, maybe, especially from like family and stuff. It's like, you really want to do that? Like, you really, like, you love cars that much? And it's like, yeah, actually, like, really, I do. Like, my job is cars. When I get off work, like, I'm thinking about drifting in cars and growing the industry, growing the scene, and that's just pretty much what I do. So struggles, really, since I've been into cars, has been a struggle with myself, challenging myself to do better in all ways with my design, photography, and also just challenging myself mechanically. Like, I didn't go to school for mechanics, so like Alexis and Faye did. It's so cool that you guys went that route, but for me, it's like I've kind of gone more of the marketing design side of the automotive industry, and mechanics is just kind of a hobby. But through that, I've learned a lot about myself, and it's been a challenge for me to get over the hump of having confidence in myself to know what to do. And basically all that I know about cars is based on what I've done to my cars. Like, I know every suspension piece on my Honda Civic because I've taken it all apart and put it back together. I know how to do an oil change on a Nissan 240 and a Honda Civic. Now, you know, you put me in front of something else, I'm going to have to figure out, I mean, everything's pretty much the same on all cars, but every car is going to be different, you know, about like where things are, where the oil filter is, where this is and that is, and how they function, and what tool to use to remove or install those things. And so it's like I said, it's been kind of an internal struggle about like, what am I capable of? What can I do by myself? What do I feel like I need help on? What do I need to phone a friend for? Because you should never be afraid to ask somebody for help. And that's, for me, it's a pride thing. And I am super, I'm really bad about not asking for help. And I feel guilty almost about asking, especially like being a girl asking my guy friends for advice or help on whatever. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I've gotten some of that, you know, that I think Faye may have brought up, where a guy has, you know, maybe not to his, you know, he doesn't mean to, but like, you know, doesn't really like show me how to do something and just kind of steps in and does it all. And for me, that's super frustrating because I don't learn from that. I learn nothing by somebody just stepping in and saying, okay, well, let me just do, you know, this and that. And then they just end up finishing it. And you're just like, you know, like I learned nothing from that. Like I didn't get to take it apart and put it back on. Because for me, that means that, and this is probably true for other girls, that once you put it on and take it off and then put it back on again, it's like you've got it, and you're like, okay, well, I can do that again next time and maybe not need your help, you know. So I guess it's sort of an independence thing and then sort of a pride thing. So that's what I mean when it's like struggles coming into automotive was really personal for myself and challenging myself to do these things, like learning how to drift, how to work on my car, just things like that. Like, it hasn't necessarily been, like I said, like somebody being like, you know, you're a woman, you shouldn't work on a car, blah blah blah. And that's something that I've written about, and other girls feel that way and maybe experience that, especially at a shop or with a boyfriend or a dad or something like that, where they're like, they feel like they're being talked down to, mansplained, however you want to put it. And I've been lucky enough to have very patient individuals in my life that throughout my life that were willing to sit down with me and go, okay, this is how you do this, and this is why we're doing it. Because honestly, like, for somebody who hasn't worked on a car, who doesn't do it all day, and this is for the guys out there that are watching this, and like maybe your girlfriend or a friend of yours wants to learn how to work on cars, and, you know, break it all down. Act like you're teaching a child how to work on a car, how to take things apart and put them back together. Like, if you like have a son or daughter, and you like, how would you explain to him or her how to work on a car? It's like, that's how you teach somebody how to do pretty much anything. Not just a woman. Like, I'm not saying that you should talk to her like she's a child and she doesn't know anything and all that stuff. Like, she could catch on really, really fast on some things, and other things maybe not so much. But like, it takes 5 minutes to explain to somebody how to do something, and you don't know how you could have empowered that person. And that little bit of time, it gives that, woman or a guy, even your guy friends, it gives them power, it gives them knowledge, it gives them confidence that, hey, I know how to do this. Like, I'm going to do this next time without you. And everybody starts somewhere. So, yeah. So, all right. So I guess that's my answer to February's question. #WomenMachine. And be sure to like and subscribe our channel. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff this year with That's Cute Drift. And we're going to have some of the other girls respond to this that are on our team. And we're going to be doing some more events this year. We're going to be in Connecticut in May for the Women's Drift. I'm really, really excited about that. I can't wait to meet everybody. And we're also working on getting some girls together, possibly in the fall, to go drifting in Texas. And that's pretty exciting too. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.